Give me a gnome where the beholders roam. How's it going, peeps? Getting started in just a second. Making sure I'm live on both Twitch and YouTube. Waiting on the YouTube. Oh, there we go. Alright. Hello and welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDOstream and youtube.com/DungeonsandDragons/live. I'm DDO's community manager, Cordovan. Thank you very much for joining me. We're live every Wednesday starting at noon Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/DDOstream, where you can also find our full schedule for the whole week. I'm here, I'm on Lamania. I have a heart-shaped stress ball. And I'm here with you to answer your questions. So Lamania is currently closed to the public right now. We shut it down yesterday, but are going to be reopening it soon, perhaps by the end of the week, with a new build of Update 30, including the new Update 30 quest. So that'll be the quest challenge thing that you guys will find out a whole lot more about when you get the chance to test it out. It should be pretty cool. I will point out as well that this Friday, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, join us here. We're going to be doing our Update 30 preview with members of the dev team, so this is a great chance to see them, get their thoughts on Update 30, get a quick overview of everything that's in the update, or pretty close to everything that's in the update, and ask us your questions and all that. So thanks for joining me. If I can answer your question, I will. If I can't, I won't, and I'll just tell you, sorry, I don't know the answer, or whatever. So I'm on Lamania. This is our public preview server. Maybe later on this show I'm going to be over on Sarlona, but I thought I'd do something that I didn't do on Friday. So if you checked out last Friday's at 5 here on Twitch, you'll know that we went through Gnome character creation, some of the looks, the dances, things like that. I wanted to get a little crunchy this time and look over those Gnome enhancement trees. So that's what I'm going to be doing here on Lamania. You will notice that clearly we're not in a shippable state on our gnome here, but we're getting there. So some of the icons and all that will be updated in our next public preview, so don't worry about that. But Civic Spoon says, will Severlin be there this Friday? Well, I've invited him, so probably. Probably he will be. Unless he's got something else that he has to do. Will Update 30 be live next week? I think it's going to be a little bit beyond that. I know on Friday the 26th is going to be our day-long 10th anniversary celebration over on Twitch and YouTube and all that as well. I think we're targeting probably that next Monday for the update, I think. So the 29th. But we'll have more information as we get closer to it. Confucius asks, are we going to let the basic gnomes do user chat finally? Well, if that's not in this first public preview, then yes, we will have to make sure we take a look at that and get that fixed. Taiwaz Live 10 says, insightful combat mastery does not stack with combat mastery, despite being described as different bonuses. Why is that, Jerry? I don't know. I am guessing it's because it's a bug, but I don't know. So Insightful Combat Mastery is a passive +1 to 6 insight bonus to the DC of your tactical feats like Trip, Sunder, Stunning Blow, that sort of thing. Yeah. And regular Combat Mastery... Actually, I don't see a regular combat mastery yet. Go with the quick search here. So, Combat Mastery was renamed to Insightful Combat Mastery in Update 23. Exceptional Combat Mastery was. And Exceptional Combat Mastery was renamed, except for pre-Update 19 items, to Combat Mastery after Update 19. So, to provide the same non-stacking insight bonus. This is from the DDO Wiki. Thanks, DDO Wiki, for doing that. So it looks like maybe you've got a pre-U19 item that has a wrong description on it. That would be my first guess. So, All right. Let's see. The new Arcane Archer skill are broken on our Lamania. Yeah, so this Lamania preview that you saw last week is our first build of Lamania. We're going to be doing at least one more build here, like I said, maybe by the end of the week here, that's going to have a lot more polish and things on it. So, yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't quite working right in that first Lamania build, and that's pretty common for our first public preview prop there. So. Confucius says there are still a few items with +0 bonuses on new random loot. Thanks for letting us know about that. If you know specifically what the item is, send in a bug report. That's ddobugs.turbine.com, and we may have to individually fix a few things there. So. All right, let's actually head to the meat, as it were. We are first looking at the iconic Deep Gnome here on Lamania, the enhancement tree. These are racial enhancement trees, so you'll get them for being that race. The first tier, these are the core enhancements. The first tier is Wariness. It's a +1 to dodge, +2 magical resistance rating. The second one is +1 intelligence. The third one is another +1 to dodge and +2 magic resist rating. The next one is intelligence or wisdom as a bonus, because you get a inherent bonus to both wisdom and intelligence as a deep gnome, and then a penalty to charisma and strength. So depending on whether or not you want to be wisdom or intelligence spec, you can get a bonus to that in that fourth core enhancement. And the fifth one is another +2 dodge, percent dodge, and +2 magical resistance rating. So through this tree here, you can get a +4% dodge and +4% magic resistance rating. Additionally, if you cap it out, you get a 15% racial bonus to your odds of retaining a copy of a scroll when using it. So basically, similar to the returning arrows and bolts. You can preserve it. Actually, artificers have that too. All right. Okay, so let's head over to Tier 1 here on the Deep Gnome, Illusory Escape. When you tumble, you'll phase out from reality briefly, passing through enemies as you do so. That's actually similar to an Epic Destiny feat. Or an Epic Destiny, right? I can't remember, is it Fate Singer that lets you kind of do that? Where you get the little blue thing? But either way, Illusory Escape. Wand and Scroll Mastery. It's got 3 tiers. I believe it's 25, 50, 75% effectiveness from your scrolls, wands, and other items that cast spells, and a +3 to the save DC of offensive wands. The next one is Underdark Experience, just +1, 2, or 3 to all saving throws. And it should be noted these do stack with other bonuses, like that would stack with resistance, for example. Stealthy or Awareness. The stealthy section, or awareness rather, is +1 to listen, search, and spot, probably +2, +3 as well. And then +1, stealthy is +1 to hide and move silent, or +2, +3. Gnomish weapon training, +1 to hit and damage with light hammers, light maces, light picks, short swords, short bows, light crossbows, and light repeating crossbows. So I know, artificers are going to be able to get, gnome artificers are going to be able to get a plus up to 4, I believe, right? No, 5. To plus hit and damage with, say, their repeaters. Also, short swords might be a nice option for some folks as well, or light hammers in that, depending on what you're into. Alright, moving up to Tier 2, Conjure Stone. You'll conjure a boulder and hurl it at an enemy, dealing 20d4 bludgeoning damage and knocking down an enemy on a failed reflex save of DC 20 plus your intelligence modifier. And I believe that that'll go up, let's see, let me actually take enough points to unlock it. Actually, that one might not be takeable yet. But anyway, it's probably going to go and increase the DC on that as you take it. Hardy Nature, 3 tiers there, plus probably 2, 4, or 6 AC, plus 2, 4, 6 physical resistance rating, or plus 6, plus 1, 2, 3 physical resistance rating. So 2, 4, 6 to AC, 1, 2, 3 for physical resistance rating. Color Spray is basically prismatic spray as an SLA. permanent blur. You get a permanent blur effect, which is a 20% miss chance when attacking that ally due to concealment. And then again, we have Tier 2 and Gnomish weapon training. Moving up to Tier 3, Spellcraft is plus 20... Let's see, was it 5, 15, 20? 5, 10, 20? I can't remember what the scaling up of that is. Let me see if I can reset it real quick. Oh, yeah, sorry, I already took it. Anyway, it's an inherent bonus to your spellcraft. This will stack with, say, the spellcraft skill items that you might have as well. So this will be a flat boost to your spellcraft. Nimble Reaction, +1 to Armor Max Dex bonus and Maximum Dodge bonus. +2 and +3 for additional points invested. Stone Skin as an SLA with a shorter cooldown based on the amount of points you spend in it. Racial Spell Focus Illusion. Clearly this makes sense. So +1, +2, or +3 to your illusion DCs. That's particularly something for Phantasmal Killer users out there, because you get an SLA on Tier 4 here of Phantasmal Killer. The activation cost goes down based on the amount of points spent in it, so you can get it down to once every 5 seconds, and you cast Phantasmal Killer as an SLA. Deep Gnomish Favored Enemy is also a Tier 4 thing. You have a history of racial enmity with several kinds of creatures. Choose, there we go, a favored enemy. So goblins or kobolds. Pretty straightforward there. I'm going to guess a lot of people are going to pick kobolds in that one. And then finally we have our top tier of Gnomish weapon training. Let me take a look at our chat room, see what we got here. Yeah, Magister was the bop through with Tumble one. Third tier of Unearthly Reactions. Does Conjure Stone use spell power at all? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm going to guess... Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know on that one. Sorry. I'll have to look that one up. The permanent blur is in Tier 2? Yes. Color Spray is a separate save for each spell effect also. That's correct. Let's see. Is there a mandatory first life class? If so, what is it for the iconic? That would be the Wizard. Their path is a Deep Gnome Illusionist. When is the expected release for the Gnome? That would be Update 30, which, like I said, we're tentatively planning for the end of February here. Last day in February. We're going to leap into Update 30. Alright, let me hop on over to the regular Gnome enhancement tree here. Yes, I'm on the Lamania preview server for now. Like I said, I'll probably end up at the over on Sarlona a little bit later on today. But I wanted to specifically go through the enhancement trees, answer any questions we had, except, like I said, on the Conjure Stone thing. Let me see if I can actually ask. Everyone's at lunch, but we'll see. I will ask. We'll see if we get an answer back. Well, you know, this you have to remember that the way builds work, right? So you pick a build for Lamania. Let's say we're going to update Lamania on Friday. So probably that Tuesday night, generally, let's say about that Tuesday night, is the build that we're going to take, and then we'll check it on Wednesday, Thursday, that sort of thing, and then get it ready for Lamania. So by the time even we go to Lamani on Friday, we've already had at least 2 days of development time. So a lot of this stuff tends to lag a little bit behind the actual state of the update. That's fairly common. What wizard? Actually, I guess I don't need to do this to show you the Deep Gnome enhancement tree. And again, we have icons that'll be going in this next update. Do gnomes get a crafting bonus? No, not unless they're an artificer. Then they would get the typical artificer crafting bonus that you would get there. Alright, let's take a look at the Deep Gnome. These are the core enhancements. Alright, again, plus 1% dodge, plus 2 magical resist rating. Select intelligence. Actually, that's Deep Gnome again. Did I not? Oops. I need to make a regular gnome quick. My gnomes are deep gnomes. Let's do a... there we go. That's good enough. I like that guy. Call him Beaver. Alright. Will these be free for VIPs? Yes, they will be. The gnomes are both iconic and regular, are free for VIPs. They'll be available in the DDO store for everyone else. Alright, here we go with the gnome. Gnomish Perseverance on the core. That's plus 1% dodge, plus 1 to use magic device. Intelligence, plus 1 to your intelligence. They do not have the wisdom option for, or get an inherent bonus to wisdom on the core gnome. Gnomish Perseverance, the third one is another plus 1% dodge and plus 1 UMD. Another plus 1 intelligence. And then finally you'll get the 15% racial bonus to retaining scroll copies when using it. Plus 2% dodge and plus 1 UMD. So basically you can get up to plus 3 to your UMD and up to plus 4% dodge. Tier 1, it's the Dragon Mark of Scribing. It gives you an additional Dragon Mark use per day as usual, and in the first tier will get you up to 3 UMD, 1, 2, or 3 based on investment spent. Wanded Scroll Mastery, same as similar to Wanded Scroll Mastery of 25, 50, or 75% effectiveness on wands, scrolls, and other items that cast spells, plus 1, 2, 3 to the save DC of offensive wands. Keen Insight is a plus 2, 4, or 6 to will saving throws against illusions. That will improve your saving throw against illusions. Again, we have the Stealthy or Awareness, which is a bonus to hide and move silent or listen, spot, and search. And then again, Gnomish Weapon Training for the same damage as in the Deep Gnome tree. The Lesser Mark of Scribing in Tier 2 here. You can cast Mark of Flame as a spell-like ability. It acts as the Symbol of Flame spell, but with the Illusion as its school and Will as its saving throw. Tier 2 against the Giants. Basically, you're good at dodging Giants, so you get a plus 2 to saving throws and armor class against Giants. That scales up to plus 4 and plus 6 based on points spent. Again, Gnome will get a color spray, prismatic spray of as an SLA. And the spell point cost goes down as you invest. Again, Permanent Blur, Tier 2. Same as the other one. Same with the Gnomish Weapon Training. The greater Mark of Scribing, you can cast Mark of Stunning as a spell-like ability. It's like the symbol of Stunning, but again it uses Illusion as its school and Will as its saving throw. I would need to check what the regular symbol of Stunning is for its saving throw. There you go. Nimble Reaction is a +1 armor max dex bonus to your armor and maximum dodge bonus, and that scales up to +2 and +3 based on points spent. Again, +1, 2, or 3 to illusion DCs and a boost to your gnomish weapon training. And then the tier 4 on the favored enemy for the gnome is gnolls or kobolds. And then you'll have the extra bonus then to your gnomish weapon training. There we go. Like I say, I think the first dance is still not in, but that should be in for the next update as well. Alright. It is a power creep mistake, Gilgamel says, to give a critical threat range to light repeating crossbow and has nothing to do with gnomes. I think that largely, well, I don't know if that's entirely true. I mean, to the extent that gnomes are often associated with artificers on the Eberron side, and repeating light crossbows as well are associated with artificers. I think that's the reasoning for that. Will they be moved into the favor tree at all? No. These are going to be free to VIP and available in the DDO store for everyone else, and not unlockable through favor, which is why they're free to VIP. Alright. Feel like the bonus versus giant should be an innate feat. Makes sense. But I think we're doing it differently this time. Giants as a racial enemy would make some sense as well. I can pass that along. Does it say kobolds or just reptilian? Oops. Refresh the screen by accident. You do get the favored enemy reptilian feat, so yes, that would apply to like lizardmen and that sort of thing as well. Any info on how the new crafting system will be different from the old crafting system? We're pushing Caneth crafting out of Update 30. We basically need more time to find the right balance between random gen loot, named loot, and Caneth crafting. Where does it fit along that spectrum now that we've significantly increased the power of random loot with Update 29? Will the new Arcane Archer enhancement be live with the Gnome? Yes. Arcane Archer is getting basically an AoE damage enhancement. So. Alright. I don't know. I think unless we have any further questions on the Gnome here, let's give people a chance to kind of do their thing. See if I can find the... Oops. Class did I pick? Sork. I would not suggest being a gnome. Well, maybe, but... Because I just picked this as an admin. But I'm going to try to unlock to 15 and see what kind of gear I get. See if I can equip that yet. I know at least for the female gnome, I don't think we are ready for that yet, but maybe the male gnome's different. Let's see. Oh, actually, on the regular gnome, So now people trying to paralyze everyone will get killed by the ones they can't paralyze. Monk pass anytime soon. It depends what you mean by monk pass. You know, we have said that we have a target to basically redo hand wraps this year. That is still a target for this year. A full class pass, like we mentioned last year, we're kind of moving away from entire full class passes to a little bit more targeted work, so that we can do more of them and try to get through them a little bit quicker. So yes, in regards to hand wraps. Do gnomes get larger when they true reincarnate? Yes, up to a point. The iconic is a wizard. The regular gnome is whatever you want it to be. I just happened to pick sorcerer because I was pushing buttons without thinking on an admin. But yes, the iconic deep gnome does start off as a deep gnome illusionist, which is a wizard. Cranky says they could use some PRR MRR boosts. As a matter of fact, they do get that. The deep gnome gets the MRR boost, and they both have an option for a PRR boost in their enhancement tree. Are they being sold together or separate? I believe separate. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask on that. Anyone know? I don't know. I'm still waiting on that answer about Conjure Stone, whether it scales with spell power. All right, let me call it a stream here on Lamania, and then I'm going to bop on over to Sarlona, and we can actually sort of figure out what we're going to do there. Sorry, I wonder if I can shut off the audio. There we go. All right. The gnome weapons are hammers, Cordovan, so those are the weapons that should get the gnomish weapon training. I mean, they do get bonuses to more than just light hammers, like it was also short swords and things like that. But you may, you raise a valid comment there. Let's see. Alright, here we go. I am on my high-level character today on Sarlona, level 28. I don't know, what am I going to run today? How about... I haven't done Brothers on the Forge. I haven't done Study and Sable. I don't think I'm going to get a raid group going. I haven't done Breaking the Ice, Breaking the Ranks. I don't know, I haven't done Brothers in the Forge in quite some time. Why don't we do that? If you want in... I'm not going to be giving away Invisible Stalker pets on this particular live stream. I did them the last couple, so I don't want to bore everyone to death there. But I am giving some away on the forums, I'm giving some away on Twitter, and, I'll be doing further drops randomly throughout the days here. Yeah, someone, I think, Erlock, is that from the Players Council thread where we were joking around about what we're naming our warlocks, and someone said Canadian girlfriend? That's a really funny one. Yeah. Welcome. Yeah, it's a very good question, Gilgamel. I'll have to look into that about the gnomish racial weapons. If the light hammers, throwing hammers, and war hammers, particularly light hammers, don't benefit from that tree. That's some interesting feedback there. What is the 10th anniversary event? Well, it's basically going to be a whole bunch of different things. We've got a new quest coming. I'm going to be live streaming and, you know, doing giveaways and trivia and prizes and stuff throughout the day. We'll have interviews with members of the dev team, that sort of thing. Whole bunch of stuff. And then, you know, with Update 30, we've got some typical anniversary style goodies, although maybe a little atypical this time around. But I don't want to spoil it, so there you go. Yeah, 26 is basically our day to do the day-long live stream. So, but we'll be probably doing some stuff outside of that as well. Oh yeah, Erlock, that's fine to mention it. What we're naming our Invisible Stalker thing is not under NDA. Hey, welcome. No more mimics or the trading cards. We're not doing a trading card event for the 10th anniversary here. That is correct. Does the Gnomish threat range bonus stack with others like Keen or Improved Critical? I would need to check, but I suspect the answer is probably... I don't know. I'll have to look on that too. I can ask. What is the time frame for said live stream? I'm thinking 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. That'll be the Friday the 26th. So, you know, it's going to be really just throughout the whole day. And then again, I'm actually joining the Damsels of DDO at 10 o'clock that night. So basically, I'm going to take an hour-long break after a nice 12-hour live stream. And then I'm going to join the Damsels for going into the night. So it's going to be a DDO-filled day, to say the least, on Friday the 26th. We also have some other stuff. I know in the office, for example, I think Severland's actually going to be hosting some pen and paper dungeons with various Turbine employees, just as kind of an internal celebration thing. So I might sneak a camera into some of that if I can. Let's see. Yeah, if it's a competence bonus, it should stack at least with the feat improved critical. Will Steam ever be updated to the newest client? Klimfer mentions that right now it is still using the Update 25 game client. So when you first download DDO, it'll update on Steam. It'll update from 25 up to 29. That's a good question. I don't know what our timeline or how the builds get propped onto Steam. My guess is it's a little behind because, you know, we have to work with other, you know, the people who run Steam on that. But I can look into perhaps updating it, seeing what it would take to update it to Update 30, which would make some sense at some point here. It's more than a birthday hat, I can tell you that much. If you've been playing DDO for a long time, we have got some extra special stuff that are planned. But again, I don't want to spoil this. It would be wrong of me to spoil our big anniversary plans. You don't want to know. Do ya? Will I be on an admin on the 26th? I'm going to be all over the place. I'm going to try to make it to just about every server, play characters, admin characters. You know, like going to be doing at least one thing I'm planning to do is bring the Lamania DPS test kobold onto the live server for kind of like DPS events and contests and things. I will need to be on an admin for that. But for some of the raids and all that sort of thing, I can just be on my regular characters. It kind of depends on what specifically I'm doing.
I believe the door will open for me. Let me try.
Will all players be getting things? Yes.
This is where they made us into weapons for their war. This is where my first memories began.
Are we fixing the item deconstruction window? Yeah, it should be working correctly with update 30 here. It'll take random loot, and I'm not quite sure. I know that this isn't the first time I've heard people say they need to close and reopen every time. I don't have that experience on my own characters when I'm doing that, so it's not a persistent issue. So I can't guarantee that we're gonna get it working, but you know, kind of.
One on me.
All right. Like I say, I don't know quite what to say about it. I don't have that problem. But we can look further into it. And it could well be that the changes to accept random loot may well have fixed that issue. I guess we'll kind of have to see what happens. Check it out on the money and let me know. Someone says, what happened to the old QA lead 404 error? He took a job elsewhere. A couple of years ago, at least. I need to change the title on Twitch, huh? Ah, bummer. Keep forgetting to do that on Wednesdays. Oops. Wrong button. Dance, scorpions, dance. Which they can't. Alright. Are there any plans to fix the visibility of legendary green steel effects on items? That is working as intended to the extent that you are meant to put it into the UI in order to see the elements. So they will show up in the UI when you go like into this augment section here. You'll drop it in and it'll tell you what the effects are. There's a technical, basically, limitation in terms of then populating that into the sort of right-click sort of view, but that's how you see the effects on it.
What is this? Is Gorin in danger? Held hostage? I've come too far. Still, it seems we must play this game.
Oh, you guys are having a hard time hearing me? Do I need to drop my audio a little bit? Alright, do that. Alright, here we go.
isn't the pattern.
Anyway, I'm going to need to investigate that thing about legendary green steel further, but, you know, I know that the primary method of seeing the effects on it is through the legendary green steel user interface. And that was sort of a compromise necessary to get that system in place. Any plans to allow re-rolls for loot and raid chests? I don't think so. I haven't heard of any plans to do that. What kind of fire damage am I getting? Oh, it's the first degree burns. That was... I'm switching weapons here. Yeah, I don't think the community would really support re-rolling raid loot. I don't know. I mean, some would be fine with it, but in general, we have no plans to do that.
One of my Forge brothers, dead.
The magic mouth speaks again.
Training success.
Jafar, the golems are able to take the form of any enemy. This was used for purposes of instruction. Is that Gorin and me? What is this?
Did you see how the cannon master looked when he stepped in that repair oil? It was indeed humorous, but if you...
Are Warlocks going to get some new animations, visual sound effects anytime soon? I'm not aware of any plans to do that. Is there one in particular that you feel needs adjustment?
Gorin has so much potential. And so
I don't suppose anyone here has adamantine weapons, do they? Do we have any arty splashes here?
I am.
Yes, Taiwaz Live 10. I am aware about how delicious those Iron Defenders are. I think it's a character in a broken state that's causing problems.
Didn't memorize it though.
No problem.
if Jeets were here, they'd already be disabled.
That's been around for a long time now.
Proceed.
Says the voice from the magic mouth.
The way is open.
The magic mouth. That's exactly how the masters gave instructions when I was training here. One of my Forge brothers.
Do we have any known issues with arcane augmentation? Because it raises the levels of arcane spells but not divine ones. For example, the Death Ward on the Warlock or Cure spells on Bards. I don't know. I'm going to guess if it's arcane augmentation, that may be working as intended, but I'd need to read the specifics to know for sure. Are you guys not getting those resurrection scrolls?
Battery machine, I'm gonna break you.
Fast hands, come on out of there and I'll res you. Fast hands, come on out of there and I'll res you. There you go. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look into arcane augmentation.
There's a remnant in the air here if anybody missed it.
So, arcane augmentation seems
Oh,
to be
that's my
sorcerer or wizard spells by text description. So that would be arcane spells, not divine spells. I'm looking into the alignment damage on random gen loot no longer breaking DR. That is something that is I'm actively investigating. I don't have an answer for you today, though, on that. Yeah, I mean, if you feel like we need to tweak some animations on Warlock, I agree that the probably like a good forum thread or something like that for feedback would be a good place to put that stuff. We can take a look at it. I mean, animations are very costly, so I'm not sure that I would say there are good odds that we'll be updating the animations of Warlock. But if there's something in particular, I'm always open to suggestions. Alright, let me check this. Are Bard Cure spells considered arcane? No, they should not be. Are there any plans to reconsider moving caster levels from the Epic Destinies over to the Epic levels? I don't think so. Are you talking about basically... No, I think that's intended that they're in the Epic Destinies.
I came to repair Ward once for acid burns. Doran was here.
I don't know. Why would Quill's Intercession stop any Warlock spells since they are arcane and not divine? You're probably right. $790 says, still enjoying the Maybar candy, will hate to see it go. Yeah. I've gotten really used to my candies, I have to admit. I like it too. I'm going to be sad to see it go with the release of Update 30 here. Oops.
For some reason I felt certain he had survived the war.
Ready to Play says, all Bard spells are considered arcane. So that would be why they're subject to arcane spell failure. That's interesting. Warlock spells are granted by Divine Pact, if I recall correctly, Urlock says, so that is why they can be quelled. Interesting, that makes sense. Because, yeah, I suppose that is true. I mean, with the Warlock, you are getting your spells granted through, a pact with a Divine. Well, a pact with something or other. So yes, I suppose in that context it would make sense. I suspect another answer might be because that was how it has to work. Because rewriting Quill's intercession to take account into every possible permutation is unlikely. But, yes, lore reasons. Because the DM says so. Jared Aron says, there was a discussion a while back from one of the developers about moving the caster levels you get from Epic Destinies over into the Epic levels instead, but the developers seemed to feel that they did not get enough positive feedback. Just wondered if there was a chance of reconsidering it. Sure, I mean, there's always a chance. Nothing is ever permanently set in stone. You know, if we have a reason in particular to do a shift there, anything's possible.
Was Goran lured here and taken prisoner? But who would do such a thing? Why?
I mean, if I recall correctly, there was some discussion on Lamania related to that. You know, why are they in Epic Destinies rather than Epic levels? I think it's to maybe I'm wrong, but if I seem to, I'm trying to remember this conversation from my head, so I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. But my understanding isn't by putting it into the Epic Destinies, you essentially allow greater flexibility than if you were to assign it to certain classes. So by putting it into the Epic Destinies, anyone who's looking to get a boost to their caster DCs can take advantage of it, regardless of your core class. But if we were to say only these classes are allowed to get them in Epic levels, then we're essentially limiting build choice. So I think by putting it into the Epic Destinies, we allow for the maximum flexibility on it. But like I say, that's me going off the top of my head here. I could be mistaken.
Rest peacefully from your life without reason. Last war is a self-sold bazaar. Whoever did this, I will make them pay. Another training pattern. Were these deliberately placed here?
Why not a combination of the two? Starless70 says. I could help both sides. You mean give some in Epic Destinies and some in Epic levels? I think it's just really kind of a clean design to just not split it up like that. But, yeah, I mean, sure, we could.
A different voice comes from this magic mouth.
You've done well, Talbron. Disgustingly well, just like you always did. Oh, where were you, Talbron, when we slaughtered happy trained peasants? Where were you when the fire burned?
Goran, is that you?
Well, that may be as well, that if you, well, I mean, if you're saying we just give them to every class, like, say, a fighter in Epic levels would get max to their caster DC, that doesn't make any sense. So I think that's why we wouldn't just sort of across the board grant it to every single person ever, you know? But sure, I mean, you know, ultimately it comes down to design choice, right? I'm sure that there are perfectly valid arguments to put them in the trees as well. It just comes down to a decision at some point, and I guess the decision was to put them into the Epic Destinies. Dang you, spotter drowned. Why you have so many hit points? So Jaren Aron says, the epic levels option was universal, just like all the other bonuses you get at each level. The advantage was for characters using off-epic destinies, as the caster levels would now be universal. Oh, yeah, okay. There you go. As the caster levels would now be universal instead of specific types of caster levels. That, and you would get more caster level bonuses due to more epic levels than epic destiny levels. Sounds like a pretty good reason to put them into epic destinies. I don't think fighters should be getting boosts to their max caster level just by default, without specifically speccing for it in their Epic Destiny. Just my opinion.
Two more patterns, beta and gamma. Then you can come closer.
Yeah, I mean, we could always add caster levels and feats. You know, that's something we could do.
That's Gamma.
It must have been good to be a sorceress to sling spells from the back line. Not me. I had to see their faces, had to look into their eyes. What? Calbron, they can't split us up. Who will laugh at my
So yeah,
while you're a
there's a
sorceress
secret door here
and
if someone can undo it.
Gorin, we are soldiers now. We have our orders. I am sure you will fight admirably on the Threenish front.
Anyone got a good spot?
I hoped to bolster his courage and make it true.
There we go.
We had no idea what we would face. Gorin is not well. I do not know what afflicts him, but I must find out.
Directive 27, take cover before the blast.
Good directive.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the stream down. Maybe it's just me. We have another secret door here.
More maintenance tunnels. Where is he leading us?
Please.
I don't think my spot's good enough. Or search is good enough. Nope. See, stream being a little funky. Sorry. So whatever happened to epic power being used to balance the gap? Well, I mean, that's what PR and MRR is about, right? So it exists. Yeah, if Twitch is causing you some problems, maybe maybe YouTube won't. Oh, ouch. An anniversary sale on gnomes. They aren't even out yet. We're not going to put them on sale before we even release them. Sorry, brand new things typically are not on sale like that. Nothing personal. But come on, we gotta pay our bills somehow, man. Yeah. Ah! Dang it. Post from Varguil, Jaren has found related to our earlier discussion. As stated, this would not be touching maximum caster levels. That's something we might look at in the future, but not for this change, which is mostly moving the existing buffs from epic destinies into epic levels, which seems like a clear win at this time. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know what the status of that is. I guess we'd have to ask ourselves whether. Yeah, so we have another suggestion in our in-game chat here. Basically, with caster levels, make it a feat. So a feat to increase your caster levels. Sure. I mean that's always something we could do, right? Someone started a thread to get me as a DM. I've discussed this before, but unfortunately, most of our, with a few exceptions, like say celebrity DMs, you have to be an SAG member of the Screen Actors Guild, in order to do voiceover work for Warner Brothers properties. And I don't have a Screen Actors Guild membership. Now, if someone wants to make me a rich and famous movie star and then get me a Screen Actors Guild membership, I'd be all over that. That'd be fun. I can be in Die Hard 7. But so that's sort of the big hang up. Plus, frankly, there's a whole bunch of people who'd be good DM voices. Maybe I don't need any more. It would be fun, though. There's going to be something fun, though, coming in Update 30. I can't say. Do I hope for another Mad Max movie in the distant future? The distant future? Well, I kind of hope one's before then. But, I do like me the Mad Max movies. This is true. $7.90 says, "Deal, you make me rich, I'll make you famous." Okay. I think I've got, is 75 cents enough? Nah, I could probably come up with 10 or 15 bucks. So, I mean, really, it has to do with honestly some sort of politics, right? You know, Warner Brothers is a big movie studio and a big company, and were they to start using non-union labor for things like voiceover work and that, it could well be an issue for them. So they tend to just have a blanket policy of just requiring it. So that's really what the deal is with that. Like I say, there are exceptions, and I believe some ways you can get temporary membership on that, but that's really what the deal is with that. Yes, Sir Luck, we have absolutely read your Tale of Three Forks. We read most threads. You know, people say, have you read my thread? Yeah, we have read just about every thread. That's what we do.
You were the first to reach me, Talbron.
Vin Diesel as DM would be awesome. I know that we have very tentatively reached out to like his agent, but you know, Vin Diesel is one of those guys who doesn't respond to every request he gets because he gets so many requests, you know. So I don't know if he's ever even heard it or, you know, whatever. So if someone is a good friend of Vin Diesel's who's listening to this live stream, let him know that we would love to have him as a DM. Have his agent give us a call. We'll do our best to make it happen. Wow, I'm commanded for a long time. Something fun that's not on Lamania? Yep.
No, he says Will Wheaton.
You see, Will Wheaton almost certainly has a SAG card, you know, because he's an actual actor. So clearly he's in the Screen Actors Guild. Sorry, not paying attention to the group. I'm trying to read chat too much. How about I not read chat and try to win instead?
Go away, silly fire.
Alright. How about the Rock? Yeah, the Rock would be cool too. Samuel Jackson, I think he might command a little bit too high a salary
I'm gonna
to
say Goran's got a few trees, dude.
be a DM voiceover. I don't think Samuel Jackson would say yes to that. Maybe I'm wrong. Ben Kingsley. Yeah. That's a funny comment. Is the new quest going to explain why the gnomes didn't get to be part of the war for the last 10 years? That's hilarious. They were busy, man. They were busy. Making things. See, Morgan Freeman's another one, you know. That guy probably doesn't walk into a room for less than 6 figures, you know.
I am glad.
Whew. Ooh, Siren Guard.
I will think of Gorin as the last spark.
Cool. Someone got the dose in.
And we pray that at last the fire has finally gone out.
That's a cool dose. Better than Warforged.
Cool. All right, I'm going to get you guys a turbine point code in game a little bit later on this afternoon. And I can toss you guys an Invisible Stalker or Creature Companion certificate as well. Stay tuned in chat. I'm also going to be giving away some turbine point codes there. Thank you very much for joining us on the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDOstream and youtube.com/DungeonsandDragons/live. 4 o'clock today is DDO as she is played. Musk from Argo is Thursday at 1 p.m. We also have Pikers Anonymous at Friday, and I will be back Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern for our Update 30 preview with the devs. So hope to see you then. Thanks very much for playing DDO, and I hope you have a good weekend.